Hi, folks. Welcome, everyone. This is a candidates forum for position 3 of Concrete Town Council. The two of the three candidates are joining us tonight, Mike Bartell and Drew Jenkins. Blaine Bergdorf just yesterday announced he was going to withdraw from the race. He's had some events in his life that are going to pull him outside of town limits, so he will be unable to fulfill that service for the town. So it's just the two of them tonight, and it's organized by League of Women Voters, moderated by Don Wick. And so I will go ahead and throw that over to Don now to proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Miller. Thank you very much. On behalf of the League of Women Voters of Skagit County, I would like to welcome you to this candidate forum. I will serve, as the mayor said, as moderator. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan organization. We do not support or oppose candidates. We encourage the informed and active participation of all citizens in government. We acknowledge the candidates participating in this forum with us, and we appreciate those of you who are viewing this forum. We hope you will learn more about those who wish to represent you. Each candidate will be invited to make an opening and a closing statement of 2 minutes each. Community submitted questions have been provided to candidates in advance. Each candidate will have 1.5 minutes to respond. Time may prevent asking all the questions which were provided. Our timer will be tracking the time at 30 seconds. You will see a yellow card. And when time is up, you'll see the red card that says time. And at that point, the candidates must stop talking. We ask that candidates be respectful of the time allowed. Today, we welcome candidates who will serve in position 3 of the Concrete Town Council. By definition, a town council is a statutory body and is the most local level of government. It has an important role in promoting the town, representing its interests and supporting the work of different groups in the community. In the upcoming general election on November 2nd, all voters in the town of Concrete will vote on these two candidates that will be selected here in the primary. And there are two candidates here, and they will appear on the general election ballot. Right now, we'd like to introduce the candidates. There is Michael Bartell. Michael. And there is Drew Jenkins. So we are ready to go with the opening statements. The opening statement first. Michael Bartell, you have 2 minutes for your opening statement.
Okay, my name is Michael Bartell. I'm the father of 7 children. 2 of my sons still live with me. They're both in high school here in Concrete. I've worked on the council for 9 years. I've lived in the town of Concrete for 10 years. And I really love my position on the council, and I feel like I'm a good candidate to continue on the council. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Bartell. Drew Jenkins, you have 2 minutes for your opening statement.
Hello, everybody. My name is Drew Jenkins. I'm 36 years old. I've lived in the town of Concrete for 17 years. I spent 10 of those years as the director of the Concrete Fly-In. I am also one of your local volunteer firefighters. I've been with Concrete and Fire District 10 now for about 7 years. I just recently got hired on as a full-time paid union firefighter with Boeing Fire. I have a beautiful wife and a 2-year-old at home named Emma. I've lived down, actually, coincidentally enough, I live next to the mayor. I've dedicated a lot of my time into this community of trying to serve the community. That's why I became a firefighter. And I feel like that I can help expand on this by moving into a town council position. I'm also helping that I can bring somebody of a little bit of a younger generation's purview to this seat and help set the town council up for the next up and coming generation that will be taking over eventually the town council positions once all of the other council members get to the point where they're in a retirement and the next election come up. I'm very dedicated. I have a really good hard work ethic when it comes to getting things done. And I'm really looking forward to the potential of what this position could mean for the future of the town.
Thank you, candidate Jenkins. We now move to question number 1. And the first question will go to you, candidate Jenkins. How could the town of Concrete improve communication with its residents?
I believe that the town can improve communication with the residents. I think there's a couple different things. One of the ideas that I came up with is I think that on the town council website page, there could be a facts and questions page that will be put out to a poll to the public of what are the most common questions that people have for town issues. Such as what time do the scat buses show up? Does anybody know how the school bus schedule runs? And just general things of what time of year is the spray park open and how long are the hours? And all of these questions could be put into one page on the website that would be general answer questions for people to be able to obtain these rather than having to either resort to constantly calling the town council, resorting to social media for answers, or just coming up with answers onto themselves. So I think that would be a big plus to the members of the town.
Thank you very much, candidate Jenkins. Candidate Bartel, the same question to you. How could the town of Concrete improve communication with its residents?
I think, as Drew said, the website could be redone and revamped and more of a workable website. I think the town is doing a lot of things right as far as communication. That's all I have.
Okay. Here's the second question, and candidate Bartel goes to you first. Do you feel that increasing tourism in Concrete is beneficial or detrimental? What actions do you think the town of Concrete should be undertaking in relation to tourism?
I think tourism is a very good thing for Concrete. Things that could help with you could do storyboards or fact signs throughout town. There again, I think that the town is doing a lot of things positive for tourism. We keep the parks looking really good and the streets clean. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Candidate Jenkins, the same question to you. Do you feel that increasing tourism in Concrete is beneficial or detrimental? What actions do you think the town of Concrete should be undertaking in relation to tourism?
I think tourism in the town of Concrete is extremely beneficial, especially towards the economic growth towards town. I think actions that can be taken is if the town doesn't already have a social media site such as Facebook, Instagram, or anything like
I apologize.
to allow people to advertise for 5 Beach Bakery, the Lone Star, Annie's Pizza, and stuff, so that it would then, that's one of the biggest communications for in today's age is using social media as a platform to get things out there. So if we have a town website that people can go to, they can visit Annie's website, the Lone Star's website, all of those that point them all in the direction for getting the people to know what's in town. Also working closely with the Economic Growth Committee to help expand what we already have out there to increase more people to come off of Highway 20 to get into the touristy spots of Concrete.
Thank
And that's all.
you. And candidate Jenkins, here's the third question. What top 2 recommendations would you undertake to increase the economic viability and quality of life in the town of Concrete? What initiatives would you propose or support to fulfill such goals?
I think as of right now, our Economic Growth Committee within the town has an extremely good base and foundation already set up. I think a lot of this comes back to communication within the town's residents and the town's businesses and finding what we as a town can do to help continue that growth and what more would need to be done. Does it need to have more signs put out on Highway 20? Do we need to create that social media? Do we need to have a business chapter created within the town limits to help increase our business profile without causing undue stress on all of the current residents and the current businesses? The second thing that I think the town can do is maybe we can look into what other small towns have also done to increase business revenue within their town, such as towns like Twist, Chelan, Leavenworth, Sequim, Forks, towns like those that we can go and reach out and make contact with their higher ups there to see what we can do to help build the business growth within the town.
Thank you, candidate Jenkins. Candidate Bartel, the same question. What top 2 recommendations would you undertake to increase the economic viability and quality of life in the town of Concrete? What initiatives would you propose or support to fulfill such goals?
Economic growth in the town of Concrete is very important. I realize that. I'm sorry, I have nothing.
Okay, thank you very much. Candidate Bartel, here's question number 4, goes to you. What ideas do you have for best serving the transportation needs of the community residents?
Well, SCAT does a good job of providing transportation throughout the community. Maybe expanding or providing more routes and different routes would be beneficial. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Candidate Drew Jenkins, the same question. What ideas do you have for best serving the transportation needs of the community residents?
So I was recently down in Seattle, and I noticed that Seattle has a program in place where people are allowed to use bicycles for free, and they are people who they use the bicycles and they go to their destination and they leave the bike there for somebody else who might need it. So I'd be very interested in looking into seeing if there's any sort of state or federal grant funding to maybe get a couple of those bikes that could be used around town for people who necessarily don't want to have to wait for the SCAT bus. I'm not saying that the SCAT people don't do an amazing job. They do, but they come up the river twice a day, so there could be a very long wait. So if somebody's looking to go from one end of town to the other end of the town, having a free bicycle that is left around town, and we could look into the money wise of how many bikes could we possibly get. If we get 5 or 6 bicycles, then that means there's 5 or 6 bicycles free around town Town of Concrete is not in an overly large town, so that moving from one end to the other should be very easily accomplished for people on a bike. So that was one of the ideas that I came up with.
Thank you very much. Question number 5, Candidate Jenkins. Business owners on Main Street care about the appearance and prosperity of downtown Concrete. How do you see the City Council helping balance the commercial aspects with those of residential areas in the city center?
I think that the Town of Concrete working very close with the Historical Society and maintaining the history and the nostalgic and the promenade that Concrete already has, so that if new buildings or new businesses were to pop up out of fresh construction and the constructions that there, they still continue along the lines of that nostalgic value, and working with the Historical Society and working with code enforcement in creating our own, if they aren't already in place, which I'm not 100% sure they are, putting enforcement into place to allow those buildings to be built, but they have to meet a certain facade on the outside to continue on with the historical aspect of Concrete. We have a lot of charm and creature comfort here with the way that the buildings are set up right now that bring a lot of from the history of this town to the forefront just by having those building faces in the way that they are and continuing on with that historical value.
Thank you very much, Candidate Jenkins. Candidate Michael Bartel. Business owners on Main Street care about the appearance and prosperity of downtown Concrete. How do you see the City Council helping balance the commercial aspects with those of residential areas in the city center?
I think, as Drew said, there's a lot of positive things that are going on Main Street, commercially and residentially too. And I think just to work with the uptown area on improvements and new ideas would be a good thing. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. We now move to closing statements. Candidate Drew Jenkins, you have 2 minutes for your closing statement.
Well, as I've stated before in my opening statement, I value providing for the community. I think that having a younger person's purview on the town council can help move us right into the forward direction of setting the town up. Also, my work ethic, and I'm very pro if I'm not aware of something or I don't know something, I'm very hardworking into, I will find the answer. I will figure it out. I will go ask the people that I need to get the answers to answer the public's. I'm also, like I stated earlier, I'm very pro economic growth. I'm very pro working with all of the people who have already established the base and foundation within our town to make it the town that it is, but helping also expand on that and making it so that the residents, business, and future employees and residents in the town can all work very cohesively well together and have very good working relationship.
Thank you to both candidates, candidate Drew Jenkins and candidate Michael Bartel. And in an email sent July 20th at 3:47, Blaine Bergdorf wrote, "To all it may concern, unfortunately, I am going to have to resign from the election. I have had a life-changing opportunity come about in the last week. I will be selling my house in Concrete, which makes me ineligible to possibly sit on the town council. Sorry for the inconvenience. Blaine Bergdorf," and his name will appear on the ballot. This concludes our forum. a very, very,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you didn't give Council Member Bartel his chance for his closing statement.
oh, I didn't? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, sir.
Okay, I'm very sorry for that. I got this mixed up. Candidate Bartel, you have 2 minutes for your closing statement.
I'm not a person big on words and with a lot to say, but I do truly care about this community and have a passion and a love for the town. And I'm a very proud father. That's all I have to say.
Okay, my apologies, Candidate Bartel, and thank you for Drew Jenkins for reminding me of that, and my apologies, but thank you to both candidates. Thank you so much for your commitment to serve the community. And we'd like to thank and acknowledge the town of Concrete for its technical help, and its special thanks to Mayor Jason Miller. Thank you, Jason. Many thanks to the League of Women Voters members for planning and organizing the event. And we invite you to learn more about these candidates. Look at the vote411.org website, where participating candidates have placed information for your convenience. Visit candidates' websites and social media pages as well. You can find us at our website, www.skagitLWV.org. That's SkagitLWV.org. Or find us on Facebook at League of Women Voters of Skagit County. All people are welcome to be members of the League of Women Voters. We hope you'll make a decision to consider joining us. And primary ballots must be postmarked by August 3rd. Please remember to sign the ballot and put it in a ballot drop box before 8 p.m. Or if using the U.S. mail, remember the postmark is critical. Allow an extra several days for mail service, or use a handy elections department ballot box, which are located throughout the county. Thank you for taking the time to view this broadcast. Please be a voter and encourage others to do so. A big thank you to Kathy Ream as the Voter Services Chair of the League of Women Voters of Skagit County. Wendy Sanderson, who was your timer this evening and worked extensively on this project. She's the president of the Skagit County League. Nancy Jenny, Voter Services Committee member, for all of your help. And thanks to former Skagit County Auditor Jeannie Youngquist for your input. And thanks to all of you for viewing.